So, today we are kicking off with a brand new game, a brand new stream, a brand new playthrough, whatever you want to call it. We are taking a look at another Crab's Treasure, the second game from the studio Aggro Crab. And this game, much like their first game, is a bit of a riff on a slightly established genre that takes it and moves in a slightly different section. For those of you who may have missed Aggro Crab's first game, Going Under, you would not be mistaken in a lot of those situations. Unfortunately, that game released right around the time that Hades, the first Hades, went 1.0. And it was one of those situations where it kind of got swept up by the fact that that game, which was pretty much kind of a similar genre, kind of took the world by storm. But in this one, Aggro Crab looks to really kind of lean into their roots by actually having a crab as the playable character, actually having a crab as the theme, and being able to kind of funnel us into a very interesting and very, let's be honest, kind of mined at this point space of soulslikes. I haven't played too many soulslikes in my personal life, or I haven't played any on stream before. It's not a genre that is as get up and go as I particularly enjoy when I play on my own, and the patience that's often required from you in order to make sure that this type of thing works, it can be a little bit of a challenge for me at times. But this was something that I picked up in a very ridiculous bundle. I don't think that it's still available right now, but there was a Platinum Pick'em bundle that was available through, I believe it wasn't Humble. I want to make sure that I get this right, actually. Just to make sure that I have this as correct as possible. Because another Crab's Treasure, it was the Build Your Own Supreme collection from Fanatical. I ended up picking this up. I ended up picking up Dungeons of Hinterberg, which I streamed the demo of last year. And then I also ended up picking up Wild Bastards, which all three games I would recommend as being games that you should go out of your way to pick up. This was the one that I was most apprehensive about, as unlike the other two where I had a little bit of experience with them, or a little bit of experience at least with the gameplay style. This was something where I was like, well, if it's in a bundle, I could probably pick this up and not really regret it as much. And to be honest, I kind of wish that I paid full price for this, because it's that good. But we'll go ahead and we'll jump into this brand new. You'll see here, I did play this game in full before I decided to play it on stream. Because to be honest, I didn't have a ton of faith in myself in being able to make sure that I could manage this completely cold. So we'll be starting a new game file here, and we'll be seeing what we can do.
What word comes to mind when you think of the Earth? For some, that word might be beautiful. Others might say the world is hateful, or evil, or unstable, or full of shit. But above all else, the word that best describes our world is resilient.
This, like, real-ass footage
Against
right here.
the odds, time and time again, creatures adapt to make the most of their given environment. Some learn to feed on others, stealing their vitality for their own.
When they think about the ocean,
some become scavengers, living off what strangers leave behind.
Kind of
and others still, as we will soon see,
and things like that. So that's a very good way of being able to do this. And also,
would prefer
this transition
to be simply left alone.
Another Crab's Treasure. Oh, hello. It's our new friend, the shark.
No way! No one's home!
Sir, please open up.
The lone shark. Oh, look at them.
Oh,
Hey,
you're
Krill.
not a bird.
Sir, are you the owner of this residence?
You mean my shell? Yeah, it's mine. Do you like it?
I represent the Royal Duchy of Slacktide, which has recently annexed the territory surrounding and including this tide pool. I'm here to inform you that you have outstanding taxes
Look
that date
at
back
this
upwards
kid.
of
You
10
think
tides.
you think they know about taxes?
If you are presently unable to pay this balance, the duchy will claim your home until you...
Hold on. I've got some questions. First of all, what's a duchy? Also, taxes?
Yeah, like what's a tax?
So basically, the Duchess of Slacktide owns this whole area now.
I wish I didn't
and
know
she
what
puts
taxes
a lot
were.
of effort into keeping it safe. So everyone who benefits from that has to abide by her rules and pay up once per tide.
There's still plenty
I
of
don't know,
birds
Krill.
here.
Maybe you
I
should
don't
have
know if it's really safe.
Look,
hiked
kid,
up a little bit.
I don't have time to argue political nuances here. I've got a lot of tax evaders to get to. You gotta pay up right now, or I'm gonna have to repo your property. Got it?
Also, ignore the
Okay,
fact
I
that this
think
is
I've got a wrecked helper too around here somewhere.
that this is a shark toy. So anyway, we can move ourselves around here now. This area is not super full or not super notable by any question, largely because of the fact that there's not really a lot that we're going to be able to explore. We can't even jump in this section, which I didn't realize. So all we can really do is make our way over here and see what we can do. So we got these heart kelps. So much like the Souls-like games, they will kind of give you a little bit of detail on the things that you have, and you can hold down this button to go in. So hopefully this is enough for taxes. Hey, how's it going, bud? Hey, I know this isn't much, but what the shell is this? They're heart kelp pods. Don't tell me you don't even like heart kelp. I hope you're joking. Nobody uses these dumb things as money anymore. Well, maybe Krill should have been informed about the local currency. I don't know. Krill doesn't seem like they go into the ocean all that much. The ocean's moved to trash standard now. Trash, you got it? Trash? So no pearls either? No shiny pirate coins? That's right, none of that crap. So you better find some bread clips or some sauce packets back there. I'm losing my darn patience. Look, if you'll just give me a few more tides. Alright, I've heard enough. Say goodbye to your shell, idiot. No! I couldn't even dodge that! Oh, crab, crab, crab. Well, so now we can jump. And now it's time to get moving after this, this toy here. I love how he has like a little Mario, they have like a little Mario jump. By the way, the reason that I'm referencing Krill as they is because Krill's voice actor is non-binary. So I'm just under the impression that Krill is also non-binary. There's not really any gender stuff kind of discussed with Krill, so I'll just take everyone's word for it. You can't do this to me, man. How am I supposed to stay safe from all the birds and stuff around here? Not my problem. You want your shell back, you better go get a job and pay up. I hear they're always hiring in the reef. Isn't it super busy there? I don't want to talk to people. Again, not really my problem. I don't care where you get the trash from, but I'm keeping this until you do. See you later. So, well, now there's our call of action, and now here's us entering the beautiful world of the ocean. So, when you're underwater, you can swim, holding down the button to kind of move through the air. And, of course, there's all this trash that's around here, which we can then climb on or make use of. So already, I mean, I mentioned that this is a Souls-like, and I feel like a lot of people are watching this, and they're like, they're punching the monitor, Because they're like, what do you mean this is a Souls-like schoolboy? Like, does this look like a Souls-like to you? And the question is yes, as a matter of fact, it does. Because as you'll see in a moment, oh hey, it's another crab. That crab looks very interesting. He's moaning. Worthless. Holy crap, what's wrong with your eyes? Have you been sleeping enough for— oh god, get away from me! So for now, we have nothing that we can really do. So we just have to run. Run so far away. Oh! Though we can take damage in this section as well, so need to be careful about that. Oh, hey, look at that. And look at this. I guess it couldn't hurt to have a way to defend myself. I love how, like, anxious Krill looks all the damn time. It's so funny. Guess I'll poke them with the pokey bit. So, this is where you get the Souls-like aspect of this. You don't have a stamina meter per se, but you have a certain amount of attacks that you can accomplish, and you are left open for attacks and counterattacks if you don't, or if you aren't careful with the way that you strike. You also do have a charge strike, which deals the most damage. And you also have an error strike, which can be useful. So let's lock on. We have the little letterboxing here, which is really nice. These guys here, they're not too damaging, so we can kind of work our way through them pretty quickly. And in addition to running, we can also do a nice little dodge. Which, as you can see, as we are locked onto them, we have a little cool crab. Oh, whoops. Little crab thing. But yeah, every enemy has their own unique kind of pattern. And there are quite a few enemy types in this game, but you can always kind of count on the fact that certain enemies are going to act or react in specific ways. Oh, hold up. I fell. So good stuff. Let's keep making our way through. Don't exactly know what this purple crystal is, these purple crystals are quite yet. But we will find out shortly as we make our way over to whatever this is. Maybe I could rest my feet here for a little while. The current gets a little warm over here because it is our Firelink shrine, or it is our... And as you can see, it literally has, like, Souls-like sort of text and, you know, details there. So this is a section that you can rest at whenever you are low on health. It will give you all of your health, and it will also bring you back whenever you die. But much like you would expect from any Souls-like, anytime you enter one of these, all the enemies in the region do come back to life as well. So what's also pretty notable is that we don't have much that we can take a look at in here, but we can level ourselves up with the microplastics we've been collecting, which you can see in the bottom right corner, 75 microplastics. These are collected by killing enemies, as everything has microplastics in them. Everything has microplastics in them. But they can also be collected through finding things on the ground. There are various things that you can pick up, little bread clips for an example, and other items that you can find. So these are things that you can use to level up. They also make up your money as well. So you don't want to spend too much of these in case you are hurting for a particular level up. Especially with some of the other stuff we'll find a bit later on in the game. But here you can see we have 4 basic stats that we can level up here. Our vitality, which is the amount of health that we have. Our resilience, which is about the amount of damage that we take, as well as the afflictions that can be placed on us. It says shell damage. That'll come into play a little bit later. our attack damage, the physical damage that we can deal when we're dealing 100% damage, and umami damage, which is, again, something that we will find a little bit later. There's also our shell collection, which, as you can see, has 69 shells in it. Very nice. The first shell that we have that's visible here is our home, which we're aiming to get back. But there are a number of other shells that we can find in this game to use in the meantime. One of those shells, as a matter of fact, I think this is a good time to talk about this now, because Another Crab's Treasure won an award at the Indie Games Awards for accessibility. So, in their accessibility sections here, we have an easy mode. And this is basically just kind of walking us through some of the stuff that we have in here. So, accessibility for this game is very much kind of making sure that you can slim down some of the problems that people might expect with Souls-like, giving you a little bit more durability to your shell, which is your shield, reducing the damage taken, reducing the health that enemies have, extra things like that. Being able to just immediately recover your microplastics as opposed to having to run over and grab them when you're in a dangerous encounter. And then giving Krill a gun. Giving Krill a gun. Which is something that they actually did put that in the accessibility, but they were worried from an accessibility standpoint whether that would be offensive or not. So they did discuss with some people. And the people they discussed it with said it was extremely funny, so that was the reason they kept it there. It was one of those things where it was like, they even kind of mentioned it in the thing where like, we know why we won this award, so thank you to everyone we talked to for making sure that we weren't like assholes for putting that in there. Oh, ew! Lick my ventral fins? The hell's your problem, dude? So yeah, they... Oh? We got some music now. So, but yeah, it was really fun that they were able to kind of work that in and kind of make that work as something that people were really into. Like, I really was kind of surprised at that. But anyway, here's our main location. This is one of the main hub areas that we go through that will take us to most of the other locations in the game. But for now, we need to head towards the castle. You're some kind of freeloader, aren't you? Think you just skirt your taxes while the rest of us keep this society get together, do you? Hey! Don't be mean to Krill. Oh! I'll kill you. Why does everyone in this place keep trying to kill me? This shell doesn't even fit! So we can't get into that shell, but there are shells that we can get into. One thing that I'll note here is that the level design of this game is so excellent. Using cigarettes as kind of like gates, basically. Using microplastics as sort of a microplastic brick road. And then there's also these sandals and things over here as well. Really fun kind of items that are on and off the beaten path. Something that I will note is that the game is very open to you. There's no real limitations on where you can go in the shallows or what you can do in the shallows. But as you might expect, if you're not really knowledgeable about the game and you're also not really all that leveled, you probably don't want to be dancing around too much, especially without a shell, as you take 100% damage. And you don't really have that many other advantages to you along the way either. But there are a few things that we can collect while we're around here. Some things that would be useful. Something that is kind of notable here is that they did note that everything in this game is scaled kind of because of the way it would, like, what would be funniest or what would be most utilitarian for the actual plot. So some of this stuff doesn't really make sense, why it's kind of like larger than other things would be. But some of it is like smaller than it should be, you know? So anyway, I am kind of skirting around here a little bit because I do want to collect a few microplastics to level up. But as with every Souls-like, and I'm sure we'll see this sooner than I would like, you do have to be careful about not dying. Because if you do die, a blood star limb, 4 more to increase vitality. Consider those your heart containers, basically. Oops. So any items that you can see on the ground that are glowing in blue are pretty much the things that you can use. Oh, I'll just use this. I'll grab this. Anything that is like story critical or like massively important to pick up. Oh, hello. Oops. Oops. See, just like this now, I'm getting massively overrun. There is, of course, a little bit of a time gap into when you can heal and, you know, when you start healing and when you actually do heal. So you have to be careful because they'll even knock the heart kelps out of your hand while you're trying to do stuff. So let's hit on this and then let's... Oh, hello. Yeah, much like Souls, they will do the little, there's more enemies than you think type of thing. This stab does a ton of damage, and it also increases their stun gauge pretty heavily. It's also useful for other stuff in the game, though we'll get there when we get there. Don't really have to be close to any of those things once we've cracked them. Oh, talk? To who? Oh. Hey there, sweetie. Oh, hello, ma'am. How does the Duchy find you this day? Pretty bad, my shell got stolen. The Duchess isn't really known for her willingness to negotiate, but I have faith in you, sweetie. I know you'll keep your head attached. Oh, well, at least she has faith in me. Those enemies can be really tricky to kind of figure out the cadence of how to attack them, honestly. But, like I said before, I think that my experience is going to serve me well as I step into this here. As you can see, a lot of, you know, kind of branching paths and additional stuff up here for those who are able to explore. Like I said, I'm not going to move around too much because another blood star limb. Because I do want to make sure that I come back to this stuff once I have the resources to be able to tackle it firsthand. I do have the ability to get an upgrade. I think I'm going to wait until I get to my next shell before I do that. Because even if I die around here, I can still, you know, I can still pick up the microplastics pretty easily. So yeah, again, the world design of this game is so good. Try hard guard here. But yeah, look, like the hair clip there, you know, it being a sand castle, all this type of stuff. Whilst thy loins remain ungirdled. ungirded. Excuse me? Dude, take the hint. She's saying you're naked. Oh yeah, I guess I hadn't thought about that. Is that important these days? I feel like society's moved on without me while I've been practicing self-care. Seems like it. The Duchess would have our heads if we let you out wearing nothing but a rag. Fear not, little crustacean. Nearby to the east is a repository laden with complimentary garmentry. Captain's station right over there. Great guy. He'll get you sorted. Sounds cool, and you'll let me in? Assuming nothing sketchy comes up in your background check, sure. Oh, yeah. Does this... Do they look sketchy to you? They don't look sketchy to me. But anyway, let's keep it pushing. So over this way, we've got to get ourselves a little clothing. A little extra stuff on us. And along the way, there are a few collectibles around here, including this heart kelp. Delicious. Delicious time. Let's take this upper path here. Oops. Nice little thing over here, too. Oops. Oh, no. Yeah, aim at this one. If you strike enemies while they're midst attacking, you generally can interrupt their cadence a little bit, but it's not always a guarantee. I would assume that that's kind of something that is present in a lot of Souls-likes as well. Once again, if I'm saying any... Oh! Oh, hello. Back off, please. If I'm saying anything that seems like a given, it's just because, like, of my own lack of experience with these games. I tend to like watching people play them. Like, Awesome Games Done Quick is going on right now. And there's, like, people playing those games with, like, saxophones and, you know, just, like, tactics that you would never really expect if you're playing those games, like, as a casual person. Oh, hello, man. All right. I'm gonna give that one shot. One more shot. But it's one of those things where it's like, it feels more intimidating watching people play these games, and they're actually, like, good at them, you know? Because for me, that makes it something where I'm like, well, clearly I need to be of a certain skill level, or clearly I need to be of a certain kind of perspective level to actually go out and play these games in a way that actually matters. And that's probably not true. I mean, you know, probably not, but... Oh, hey. There's a bit of a stronger enemy over there. I'm gonna wait. But now that I think about it, this is probably the way I'm supposed to use to get over to that thing. So, let's go and do that now. But yeah, I mean, I think Souls-likes have really kind of become the first time I've ever been, like, really intimidated by a genre of games as, like, you know, not just from like a professional perspective, but like in a personal perspective of, I feel like I'm gonna buy this game and I'm not going to enjoy it. But never mind that, we have a lot of heart kelp out here. That's kind of interesting, ain't it? Well, I'm sure that nothing bad's gonna happen. It's perfectly fine. We're just over here to get some clothes, to make sure we're no longer naked. Oh, that's whatever that is. Very nice. So as you might expect, these soda cans will make a nice little shell. So as you can see, whenever you're next to a can, it will show you the base level of the base item. even if it's not the same color or the same visual, they generally kind of filter under their own sort of categories. Right under that, you'll be able to see the defense amount, and you'll also be able to see the weight. And finally, next to that, you'll also be able to see the actual durability of the item based off of whether you have it or you've collected it or not. So, this shell chafes like heck compared to mine. Who even made this thing? So as you can see, this is our shields. And if you've played any Souls games, you know that shielding is important. You know that there's an art to shielding in particular. We're going to try our best to do that as we go. Sometimes I'm not as good at it, but that gives us a little bit of a health bar above our health bar. And that's where our defense stack comes in.
Lawbreaker!
Oh. Hey.
Oh, crab. I'm sorry. Was I supposed to grab a ticket?
You think yourself above the law, but the law is not so easily outwitted. By its strength alone do we rise above the beasts.
Oh.
I'm really sorry. I'll go to the back of the
A lot
line,
of those
okay?
dudes, a lot of dudes getting crucified there, huh?
I'll have your head like I have these other worthless lawbreakers.
Well, time for our first boss, Nephro, the captain of the guard. Oh, and as you can see,
Your fish food.
this is going to be a bit of an interesting challenge because he does deal a lot of damage to you in each hit. Oh. And if he breaks your shell, then you take the full amount of damage, and there's nothing you can do about it.
Through my blade is justice sucked. The persistent, your filthy soul is destined for the grave.
A watery grave. The good news about this game is that if you do die when you're playing against a boss, it will drop your junk right under where you were, and it'll also drop you at the spawn of the boss. The only thing is that you will have to watch the cutscene each time, which I'm assuming is a Souls original. Or, huh? Hey. You out there, pal? Where is he? Maybe he didn't like that shell. Maybe he'll like this one. Guess I'll head this way then. It'd be really silly if I got to keep all my mark. Oh! I didn't realize this was over here. Hold on. I got a costume. Well, alright then. Goodbye. Thanks for your patronage, I guess. Or thanks for your help, I guess. I think that we can, manage just fine on our own. Are we... Is this real? I mean, I want to fight him because I'll get a bunch of microplastics off it. I wonder if I died in such a strange way that it decided, no, you actually don't have to fight the boss anymore. Okay, well, I'll give this one last pass. Because this has never happened before, so... also going to miss something really important, I think, if we don't beat him, so... Alright, well... Whatever I did just then, was kind of sick, I guess. Strategies. Okay, open the gate, Nate. Oh, hey! Huh. Alright then. A barbed hook. Those are going to come into play a little bit later, honestly. Let's make our way this way. There's a lot of folks we can talk to, chat with, hang out with. A clump of sand, ma'am. What's a clump of sand good for, Private? To form the walls of slackitude, ma'am. What's slackitude to you, Private? The prettiest place in all the ocean, ma'am. You're goddamn right, Private. I'm really curious. Like, did I turn something on accident? I didn't. Huh. Okay, then. I'm not gonna look a gift horse in the mouth. Let's keep it pushing. Inside Fort Slackitude. Slacktide. I don't know why I kept saying Slackitude. I said that when I was playing this game normally as well. But yeah, funny enough, you can go into your shell and just roll around there. Hey! Where do you think you're going, chum? I'm gonna go see this Duchess lady. I'm really kind of thrown, actually, by whatever is going on here. But it looks like I've just been able to get past that fight entirely with no problems. I'm sure it won't come back to haunt me.
Speak.
Oh, yes, ma'am. I recently had my shell taken away, and I was wondering if there's any way we could work
I
out
was
some
thinking
sort of...
maybe I could die instantly and then try and do that again, but I got the costume that I'm getting off of it, and I mean, I got to show a little bit of how he works, so...
Oh, it's pretty neat, I guess.
Your guess is as good as mine as to why that happened.
A lot of work
Anyway,
went into
I
this
love
place,
her
you know?
little whatever. Barbie,
work made possible by
Barbie's first, Barbie's junior castle ass crown.
Like yourself. And it was worth it, don't you think?
Is it?
Oh, yeah, definitely. Look, I can find another way to pay my taxes, but for now, I'd really just like to...
Even more gorgeous than the coral reefs, wouldn't you say?
I wouldn't know. I haven't seen them.
I've never been to...
Like...
I mean, yeah, absolutely. The reefs are super overrated. Everyone says so.
Oh, perhaps we can work out a deal, little hermit. But first, I'll need something from you.
What you need?
My castle still lacks a certain panache, pizzazz, flair.
See, I don't know. You got the whole chessboard in here. You got a lot of stuff cooking in here. I think it looks fine.
Je ne sais quoi.
Je ne sais quoi.
A platoon went out on my behalf to recover something shiny and gorgeous from the cave to the west. But those buffoons haven't reported in since. Such incompetence. Climb the western tower. to begin your journey to the cave.
I love Krill's little smile blush
Then catch up
talk
with my
sprite there.
platoon and help recover something worthy of my beauty.
Yeah, sure.
Return to me with trinket in claw, and we can speak of delaying your tax payments for no longer than 2 calendar tides.
Okay, thank you. I won't let you down. I'll get you the shiniest thing I can. Oh yeah, I also wanted to mention the crazy murderous crabs outside trying to...
Begone, little hermit. I tire of you.
Yes, ma'am!
Aw, Krill. Anyway, let's keep it moving. We have a few things that are around here. Some stuff that we can go into, as a matter of fact. But most of these rooms are kind of guarded and don't really allow us to keep moving. So, as nice as it would be to take a quick peek of some stuff. We have the heart kelps that are here. Little heart kelp garden. Little statues and everything. And whatever these are, actually, too. Hey, how's it going? Oh yeah, he straight up tells you, no, you can't come in here. It's too, you know, it's too messy. Like, or he says you can't come in here because by order of the Duchess, and it turns out it's too messy. But, hold on a second. Hey, can I get by here? Does it look like it? Shipment of the fort's defensive urchins got spilled across the hall. It really got the Duchess up in arms. She already executed 5 people over it. 5 people executed! So yeah, just need a little chat with him real quick. And then we can pick up some of their gear. And what gear it is, as we'll see shortly. One thing that's really interesting about this game, in difference to a lot of Souls-likes, is that it has a pretty distinctive platforming system, and it has a pretty distinctive kind of like adventuring kind of vibe, like a little crab crawl. Like, I kind of feel like this game has some like Zelda DNA in it, as well as Souls DNA. Oh, poor guy. But we have a nice gold thing that's over there now. And let's see what it is. Oh, I have learned how to fish! So learning how to fish gives you the ability to grapple in this game, which is another key difference. So you can pretty much grapple on any of these hooks that are here. As long as you're within range of them to be able to grab them and pick them up, you can do that. And we have the Sea Star. So stowaways are your little status bonuses. You can put these on, and they give you a little bit of an extra kind of boost, or an extra ability or something like that as you go. There are a lot of these that you can find, and they will also stack on top of each other as well. You know, you can find more than one of these, for an example. But as you can see in the corner, you only have 3. I only have 3 pips to start, and this takes up 2 of them. So I can't equip anything else until I extend it, or I get additional stuff cooking for myself here. Oh, I thought he was gonna say something else. Oops. So what's nice is that you launch yourself up into the air with the actual initial kind of dive, and then that also launches you, like just as a standard move. All of which kind of gets you moving pretty quickly. Oh, oops. Hey. Well, at least that gets me a rusty nail, which is another thing. So some of these stowaways do require you to have a certain amount of stats attached to them. And some of these stowaways are kind of your, you know, this for that. So there's a little bit of strategy in that, in addition to being able to get your bonuses on. I will say that, like, as you, there is kind of like a give and take on these, at least from what I've experienced, where you can kind of see yourself being in a situation where you might want to upgrade yourself more than you want to use the stowaways, or you might want to use the stowaways more than you want to upgrade yourself. So for that, you have a few different options on what might be better for you. Yeah, it's headed that way anyway. So, any shell that you pick up can be swapped out for another one instantly. In addition to that, there's also shortcuts that you can develop in case you're in a situation where you're too far away from the next moon shell to be able to upgrade. Definitely want to keep an eye open for that. But also, want to stay out of whatever this is. Because it has a nice little meter that's attached to it that does not look fun. So each shell that you find has differences in kind of the way that it's used. The weight is probably the biggest thing, where small shells allow you to roll the quickest. Medium shells have more durability than small shells. And then finally, the heavy shells take the most damage, but they prevent you from rolling around as quickly as you'd like. Oops. Oh well. Not much I could have done about that. The good news is we're very soon. In order to recover his home, the plucky hermit crab ventures into the mysterious cave. But he quickly discovers the return journey will be significantly more challenging. Hello, who's talking? He approaches the ghostly figure in front of him. But before I do that, pal, let's go in here and let's get ourselves a nice little upgrade. What works best for me as far as being able to accomplish some stuff? So let's see. I personally focused on vitality and attack the most when I was building myself up initially. And I think that those would be the best ones to do. Yeah! Going forward. So as you can see, anytime you pick up a shell, it gets added. In addition to that, we also have the gun, which is a gun. This only is turned on as an accessibility when you have it as an accessibility option. But as I alluded to before, it has a very high defense stat, it has very high weight, but it also allows you to just shoot an enemy, and whenever you shoot them, they die instantly. So it doesn't matter who you shoot, if it's a boss, if it's a standard enemy type, any enemy that you shoot with it will die. And to figure out how to shoot a gun, confused and desperate, the hermit crab begins begging help from strangers. Hey, I'm not desperate! You totally are, buddy. So, you've taken them, but you'll need to awaken the currents inside him. He must access the power of umami. Umami? Look, if there's some secret I should know about, could you please just tell me what it is? Stuff's been convoluted ever since I left the Tide Pod. Feeling pity over this helpless creature, the noble Moonshell deigns to awaken his latest abilities manually. You better not be messing with... It's a metal shell and feels a new ability awaken. Yes, he does. So whenever you're wearing... So this is what is a unique aspect of this game. So it will show you kind of your shell health over there, but any shell that you wear has a unique attack or ability that you can use by pressing the X button. The ability that you use takes up the purple pips, the umami shells that you have above that. But as you can see here, I have a shell spell that I can use. It is Fizzle, which shoots out a bunch of little soda pops. But anytime you shoot these out, they will just straight up fly at any enemy that is nearby. So it can work as kind of a nice little extra bit of damage to deal. An extra little bit of a hit stun that you can deal as you're in the midst of damaging people. The once innocent hermit crab's ability to slaughter his enemies has increased dramatically. Do you have to put it that way? As well as the opportunity to meet his new found. He's blushing! The little Moonshell's blushing. That's kind of cute. So, you will be able to see the ability as well whenever you're highlighting over the shell. And as I mentioned before, every single shell in this game has an ability connected to it. Shells do have kind of classes that they're ordered in, though. So it's not necessarily every single shell in this game has a unique ability kind of thing, and more that the shells have kind of classes that are designated off of the style of shell that you're using. The big thing here, though, is that with this comes the fact that some of the shells are heavy versions of a shell or light versions of a shell, so the ability that you use may be the same as one that you may recognize, but you also get the bonus and the benefit of having the type of shell that you might like. So as I mentioned before, certain shells have attacks as well as like more defensive skills, and also might have buffs as well as kind of those things too. So there is incentive to try out every single shell. In fact, there's an achievement connected to finding every single shell in this game, and certain shells in this game actually don't have, only have one option available to find them as. So those guys with purple eyes, every time you kill them, they will drop some of these umami crystals. These are used for something that we'll see a little bit later. Oops, almost died there. But as you can see, that little shortcut makes it so that we don't have to platform through that area again, or fight any of the enemies again that we fought before. Souls games are very interesting, where it's like, you can tell that they definitely try to make sure that the people who are playing them aren't just, like, too slaughter happy when they're doing it. Like, you don't want... Like, you have to be careful to make it so that, like, people aren't just running through and doing whatever they feel like. But at the same time... you can have a little bit of fun with it if you're skilled enough to be able to manage what you need to manage. Oh, actually, hold up. I'm gonna see if one of these other stowaways is one. Yeah, so resilience. Oh, I do have 3 resilience. So this gives me more attack, but it takes away some of my umami damage and skill that I can use. The good news is that I plan on kind of attacking enemies primarily. So, no muss, no fuss. It's a good crutch to use in these earlier points. Oh. Well, alright then. Something that's also notable about the differences in the shells that you find is that certain shells may have, if you're attacked with them by a certain attack, heavy attacks mostly, you might get rolled. So, like, if someone slams me in a particular way, then I might roll around in a, you know, a can or a cup of some kind. The shot glass has very minimal amounts of health, but it does give me the opportunity to do a quick parry on any enemy that I'm facing. So, might be useful to use as we go. Like so. It also knocks enemies, like so. So definitely something that's good, especially considering how it doesn't have much health, much in the way of health otherwise. Well, let's go over here. Let's see what we can see. So gold is a pretty decently sized collectible. And this just gives us the ability to carry more hard kelp. Something that's going to be very useful. Oops. Oh. These guys can do a little bit more damage than I'd like. Oops. If an enemy breaks your shell, generally shells will kind of deal a little bit of hit stun as well. So, at the very least, you can kind of get something out of that. But as you can see, I'm burning through shells pretty quick at this particular point. This would probably be useful for me here. What are you attacking down there, pal? What are you doing? He must have not fallen the full way. So this enemy has a little bit of a different skill to him. But no trouble at all. And it gives us a banana peel. So anything that's edible, you can eat for a little bit of additional health, just in the moment. But it does take away your shell to eat your shell. So I need to be careful about that. Actually, let me take that one. Take that thing over there. I don't know what that is. Might be useful, might not be. Especially since we're on the way to another very slightly difficult encounter, which I very much hope does not get interrupted by whatever happened the last time we had a difficult encounter in mind. Alright, up we go. Your umami generally charges based off of damage that you deal. So if you're attacking something, then you recover umami, but you also can recover it through a number of other ways. There are these little swirly bits that you can see that are generally for tutorial or kind of pre-boss areas. Things like that. So we have another heart kelp here. And as you can see, we have, we got something cooking down here. What's going on, pal? How's it going? this awesome mini boss theme here. So you can't block these abilities, you have to dodge them, otherwise your shell is gonna be cooked. Oops. Oh! Alright, well. He really showed me. Okay, boss is still there. So like I said before, whenever you die in a boss encounter or near a boss encounter, you get spawned in an area right above where it is. And you're able to you get all of your kelps back. And if you were wearing a shell, or no, that's later. Sorry, never mind. Ignore that. Ignore that. So I'll just burn all my ammo out here. Oh. He has that little punch, which can be hard to deal with. So they have the little meters under there, which are their stun gauges. Oops. And once you've done that, it's all about dealing the extra damage. Oh! Need to get out of here. I'm whooping his ass, though. Down you go. Pollution scoured! Alright, so we have our pearl that we need. And it looks like we have something else down here, too. The moon snail's domain. Before we do that, before we talk to the moon snail, I should say, let's run around and crack some of these. There are a few of them in here that we can mash up and smash up. I think those are the only two, actually. I don't know why I'm going over here. A little bit of set dressing and stuff like that. But let's have a chat. Hey, how's it going? The borderline sensual body of the moon snail is crazy, dude. I don't like you like that. Yeah. I'm getting to it. Damn! The hermit crab closes his eyes and allows himself to become one with the waves. He notices the effect that it has on the currents around him. It allows himself to be changed by them in turn. Okay. A tree of skills that will unlock sheleportation. So every time you do have a chat with, every time you do unlock like a key upgrade, there will be this flavor text that kind of details like what stuff goes into it. Basically kind of the lore explanation for why you can use this and what you can do. I guess I didn't need to zap you then. I mean, the hermit crab's training may be progressing faster than anticipated. But before you do that, you can actually upgrade yourself even further. And this is something I didn't realize when I first played this game. But as you can see, these purple crystals that you unlock are attuned to parts of the skill tree. We have enough to be able to do every one of these here. So let's start off by looking at these. So first of all, Streamline allows us to do an air dodge. Skewer allows us to do a running attack. And finally, parrying allows us to parry. So you might have noticed me like dropping my shield and attempting to parry early before. That's just because of muscle memory and my whole thought that this game was going to give me the parry early. But you need to unlock the parry. Good news is that once you have it, it is exceptionally useful. Up to the point where it prevents you from taking any shell damage, too, if you're able to parry very effectively. So it's something that you need to learn to become pretty knowledgeable about. I will say that fighting the next boss in this game without the parry, I wanted to rip my eyes out when I was doing it because it was really tough. But I assume that this is actually going to be way easier now that I have what I have. So all of those unlock our little trees here. The Way of the Hermit, which has 2 branches. Way of the Predator, which has its 2 branches. And then Way of the True Crab, which also has 2 branches. Everything in these unlocks deal with the specific capacities of what they detail here, basically. So Way of the Predator basically is going to be all of your attacks, for an example. All the stuff that you're going to be able to use to damage opponents. So you have the Plunge, which is a air attack. Basically, it just allows you to slam onto enemies that are below you. You have Spearfishing, which allows you to use the grapple, but you need a barbed hook in order to pull enemies in with that. Then you have the Scrap Hammer, which allows you to turn your shell into a hammer, smashing enemies in the head with it. This is a very useful weapon, especially for dealing heavier damage. And what's notable is that the your shell, like if it's a heavy shell, it does more damage. So that's kind of a trade-off where you won't have the ability to do as much damage. You won't be able to have the ability to block or parry things as effectively, but you do trade that off for being able to smash people up. You also have at the end of this tree the ability to attack their weak point for massive damage, which is when they have been parried and knocked over. Instead of slashing at them and taking advantage of them in that way, you can just deal a large amount of damage instantly, right when they've dropped over. You also have here the Wave Breaker, which allows you to pull yourself towards an enemy and deal damage to them using a barbed hook. So you can kind of tell where these trees are kind of leaning towards. Like, this feels like a very natural evolution to your fork abilities, whereas this feels like a very natural evolution to your abilities involving the spear. We have the parry, which then spins off into some abilities that are connected to your shell. Like, for an example, Aggravation, which deals additional damage whenever you whenever you block. Not when you parry, but when you block. Dealing damage to an enemy will restore your recently lost shell health. So consider this like red health in a game where, it's not fully gone, basically. But, you can recover it back if you need to. And then Kintsugi, which you get your shell back instantly when it breaks. And it's recharged every time you rest. So you are able to, if you're in a situation where your shell gets broken, just get it right back. This can be very useful if you're someone who likes to use, for example, the food stuff, get a quick heal, and then get your shell right back instantly. And then down here is our parry-connected abilities. After you parry, you can deal a little bit of additional damage, and also restore a full umami charge after hitting that hit. And then blocking while, and then you can parry while naked as well, but the timing of it is a little bit more difficult. And of course, the risk is much higher because you take full damage. Finally, the Way of the Hermit is kind of more just slight little boosts to your traversal. For an example here, all of these are connected to your shell, so you can cast your cast the shell spell for free without using an umami charge. This one is extremely useful, and I think that I'll be going out of my way to pick that one up as soon as possible. And defeating an enemy with an umami-based attack restores an umami charge and temporarily boosts your MSG. Become invincible for several seconds after your shell has been broken. Attacking will end the effect early. Tap B with no directional input to do a quick dash backwards. This dash doesn't have any limitations to it. So if you're wearing a heavy shell and you just tap B, you can just go right backwards and dodge an attack if needed. And then finally, hitting B right after you use this, hitting an attack right after you use that will do a quick spin attack that moves you slightly forward. So overall, a lot of really useful skills that are going to play a large part in what we can do. And as you might have seen as well, you can in fact refund the skills if you need to get other skills. But there are enough of these charges that are around, and you don't lose them when you are attacking or when you die. So, you know, there's not as much of a problem if you run into kind of some situations where some stuff might not be as good for you. You will still keep the amount of purple pips needed. So as you see, we added the Shelleport. This will be able to take us wherever we want to go in relation to the locations that we might want to see. And as well, he is telling us that we can return. While we're at it, can you tell me how taxes work? The hermit crab knows instinctively to stop pushing his luck. So I love the map in this game being like this hand-drawn like map. It's really cute. Like I said before, I mean, this game's aesthetic is very strong. And I feel like it got a little underrated last year, unfortunately. But this is something that if you are someone who likes Souls-likes and wants to try something that's completely fresh, you can kind of whoa. What's that? The music just dropped out. That's weird. What's that gurgling noise? Oh. Hello? You okay here? I've been standing watch my whole life. For what? Got nothing in return. Stupid. Stupid! Stupid! Hey, excuse me. I gotta get into, see the Duchess again? It keeps piling up. All the trash, all the work. Are you like, okay, man? Sick of it. I'm sick to death of all of it. It's all so worthless! Oh, that's not good. Hello? Oh, a little bit of extra damage there for me. Well, goodbye, we hardly knew ye. And now it's time to progress into Fort Slacktide? So, as you can see, we didn't really spend too much time exploring Fort Slacktide, looking around or doing anything, but you might have noticed that it looked not like this, you know? Hit me, jerk. Oh. Now you want to hit me. Oh, guy behind me. And that one is for sure going to kill me if I'm not careful. Like I'm being right now, as a matter of fact. That purple goo doesn't hurt you, but it does deal a stat over time, which will poison you if you stay in it for too long. So, if you're wondering why I'm avoiding it, that's why. Oh, forgot about that. Oh, hey! Get out of there. A lot going on in my life. Nothing to smile about right now. Alright, well, hopefully I can outrun him. No! Oh! 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 He said get out! He wanted me out of there! Well, the good news is that I don't think I have to fight my friend up here again. Yeah, he stays dead. But we do need a shell before we go back in there to deal some damage. So yeah, all the enemies will just come back every time you die as well, so need to be careful about that. I think I can take this guy. I feel confident. Oh. Oh. I got really worried there. I thought I'd have to really do stuff to him. There we go. Oh! Oh no. Oh, hold up. Good news is that when you leave a certain enemy's range, unless you're dealing damage, they won't come back, so... Yeah, as you can see, my parry is helping me a little bit. Oh. Alright. Yeah, we'll take that for now. Hold up a sec. So, things seem to have taken a bit of a turn here. Not entirely sure how yet, but we'll see. So yeah, that parry is essential, especially considering how a successful parry will deal a lot of damage to their kind of parry gauge. Or to their stun gauge, I should say. That's kind of the primary way that you can stun enemies and knock them over without, you know, without having to worry about dealing damage specifically. So for those of you who may not be as experienced with Souls-likes, try and get the cadence. Oh, I always hated these ones here. They're kind of out of reach. Ooh. I am back, baby. Look at this. That's what we want, man. Alright, 900. I'll probably have a good amount to spend as we move in, but I also want to be careful not to press my luck too much, you know? I'll probably leave all that stuff down there alone. Oh, hey. You can't hit me through the wall. Maybe you can. Oh, God. Well... Well, this is a, okay. Alright, then. I am going to, take the loss. And try to get up another way. Hold up a sec. This way. Oh, no, please leave me alone. Please. Alright, I'll get that guy back for that. At this point, I'm going to... Oh, no! Crime, possession of seaweed! No. It's legal here. It's legal in this state. So yeah, if... They did mention before that you can knock enemies over by dealing heavy damage to them, but if you block a parry, then that counts as dealing heavy damage to them. Or if you parry, sorry, if you block a parry, I don't know what I'm saying. But yeah, parry and attack, and you'll be able to get that same stuff cooking for yourself, which is really, really useful. So I think I am going to, I pressed the wrong button there. But as I was saying, I think it's time to do a quick level up here. Actually, I'll wait. The microplastic count is going up. So it might be... I mean, honestly, I'm doing pretty decent with the damage I'm dealing, and the health that I have right now is not too troublesome. So, crime loitering. Oh, is that really necessary? Crime looking at me funny. So clearly, something has gone horribly wrong since we last checked in with the Duchess here. Hold up a sec. There are also multiple paths that you can take to find your way generally to the things that you want to do. So... I feel like there was something up there, actually. I'm gonna try and, make sure before I, keep progressing. There wouldn't be this, thing here if there wasn't, you know? Yes. Oh! And there's a guy. So yeah, you get a good amount of time being able to whack them from that point. So now we're beginning to see some of the extra things that they have here. So you can get additional shell spell damage off of this, and I think that will actually be useful to me. But see, I don't know. I'll add some damage. And let's see. Oh, I don't have enough resistance. Oops. There we go. One thing you might see me doing just a little bit of here and there is the air attack. It does give you a little boost of upward momentum. It's not much, and it's not like worth. It's not as worth it as you might think it will be. But every so often, it can be the difference between falling and flying, you know? So up we go now. I love that the fires here are like little Lego fires or something. Like, again, this game is very smart with how it does its thing. You would be hard pressed to kind of find a game that has like that in the past year has like an environment like this, if I'm being honest. Oops. Well, that sucks. Oh! There was a guy there this whole time. I can't see. Well, the pop-off launches them a little bit, and it also can stun them. So I was hoping to just knock him off, because unlike me, he won't come back. You can also slash while you're on these walls here, too, which is fun. Not much use for it, other than stuff like that. Picking up collectibles here and there, but... Oops. Oh, I thought I got the timing. Alright. Well, cool. I am amassing a lot of microplastics. That's the important thing. Like they mentioned, these are useful for more than just upgrades. Oops. Bad spot to find myself in. I don't know why I'm blocking when I'm gonna totally eat it if they hit me. But yeah, you want to try and kill as many enemies as possible in this game. I know how crazy that sounds, but it's one of those things where in addition to dropping microplastics, they do often drop extra resources. So if you are careful enough, you can do that. It's not like something that I would recommend to people who, you know, are just starting out or are just kind of getting the cadence of how this game works, because as you can see, like it takes a little bit of time to know how to deal with sticky situations. But if you know how to deal with them. But yeah, as you can see here, the parry on those guys, it's like almost all of their stuff in one. So yeah, quick little shortcut there just in case we get pushed back. And in addition, it's a way for me to kind of dip back down there in case I want to fight those guys. There's a coconut down there, a coconut shell, which I can use. I think that's a heavy shell, actually. But I think for now, we'll focus on this stuff instead. Ooh. A blood star limb for me. And then we can make our way down from here. So like I said before, I mean, I didn't take too much of a look at the overall world beforehand. But all of this is stuff that you could explore prior. And as you can see, little catch-up packs for standards and standards and banners. Wow. There's a lot of really good world building in this game. It's like the idea of going, yeah, this world is like full of trash. The ocean is full of trash, and that is like how this like society's built is it's a fun little challenge to place for yourself to make sure that that works the way that you think it should. But if you can make it work, then it ends up being perfect. Yeah, it's crazy how much damage I was taking when I played this originally. Like, I can't even describe to you just how brutal it felt. And I didn't, the thing too was that because I was like in that, the area for a boss, I just left off from there. I just kept going until I beat the boss. So I'm going to assume that this boss is going to be much easier to... Oh, he probably wasn't supposed to slide in like that. I'm going to assume that I might have a... Oh, what? Oops. Wrong button. Or wrong timing. Oh, well. So yeah, we can launch ourselves in here, and we can also use the shortcut that we dropped there too, so let's see what is going to be more useful. Oops. The good news is that whatever shells that you drop when you die, as long as they're intact, they'll still remain. Oops. So if you're careful enough to be able to get it back, you can get all of your defensive capabilities back pretty instantly. So this rollout here, as you can see, your dodge roll is just that. So if you're not as skilled with dodging, you may find yourself in a bit of a bad situation. Oh, okay. I guess that counts. Are you good, dude? Oh, gunk. So that will take away your health. It'll drain your health for as long as the meter is on there. There are a lot of elemental-based damage things in this game. People can gunk you. There's fear. There's a few other ones here and there. But all of it is... Oh, hey! That deals a ton of damage on people as well as being able to dodge it. I generally actually prefer, once you get more upgrades, of course, the heavier shells. Because as you can see, that health bar is ridiculous. And it's also something where if you can balance it out with having the quick backdash, which we saw in our collection, I probably should, yeah. I didn't know it was back there, but oh well. But anyway, a little bit of environment. Oh, no. Actually, no. Never mind. Looks like we can't leave. So there are a few more shells in here. This teacup, which gives us the morning buzz. And then I think there's another one here too, but I think it's time for our first
Hey, I don't know
actual
if you
boss
noticed, but your
fight now,
guards are
hopefully.
going nuts out there.
Au contraire, little hermit. Our minds are clear as crystal now.
Oh, shuck.
I once thought my duchy quite beautiful, you know. Worth preserving. but compared to the reefs, it's a shameful, transient thing, destined
I
to
do
wash
like how
away.
all of the bosses have kind of
Why
a
I'm
Souls-like
having to tear it down.
monologue before you fight them.
Was my beauty worth preserving too? But of course, my worthless life will wash away as easily as any
Worthless.
other. Almost as easily as yours, little hermit!
Oh, man. You do not look so
Your
good, lady.
death will be gorgeous!
But yeah, so the biggest thing that you have to worry about with her is that a lot of her attacks, including just her standard standing round, will drop gunking.
You're mine!
Oh, whoops. All of which is conditioned to murder you fairly quickly. Oops. Alright.
No.
Oops.
Can't you see how worthless this all is?
Alright, so one thing that's also pretty notable is whenever you see that red, that red above you, just in general, dodge. Because that is basically the move, like, it will almost
Hey, I don't
exclusively
know if
kill
you know-
you. Especially if you have low health, but even if you have kind of a larger health amount as well.
Your death will be gorgeous!
So Morning Buzz makes you faster, and it also makes you slightly stronger. All of which is going to benefit me here. But yeah, it's a boomerang too. That's the worst part about that actual attack too. The thing is she won't really do it if you're too close to her, but she has other tricks that she'll do if you are, which is all of which is not fun. Oops. I do keep the Morning Buzz at least, but let's keep working on her here. Oops. Oh, man. Not that I really thought I had a good sense of the timing of how to attack her before anyway, because it's been a while. You know, this is the second ever boss in the game, but oops. Oh, she hit behind me. Hell yes. Alright. Oh, but I'm gunked now, so. Alright, come on. Time for a little bit of a health recover.
Tear it all down! Can't you see
Oh, I
how
forgot.
worthless this all is?
She gets an extra attack in her last quarter of the health. The good news is we're right there, though. All we need to do is just do a little something extra, and we've got her cooked.
Your death will be
So yeah, gunking me just completely gets rid of any boosts that I would have gotten. Oops. Oops. Hold up. super low. Oh, wow. Nice. Come on, fall. There we go. Alright. Need to worry about her extra attacks here. But I can also keep her at bay with the soda fizzle.
Tear it all down! Return it to the waves!
She moves slow enough that you can kind of dodge her if you have a shell that's careful enough for it. Oops. Come on. You're literally right there. Come on.
All of our lives are as sand beneath the tide. You'll see one day.
And that's it for her. We also got an adaptation, the Royal Wave, which allows me to do a massive swing of the the Dungeness Crab's Claw. So, hold up. Holy abalone! That was a shell of a fight, kid. Oh, hey, how's it going, dude? But, you know, like, look, there's no queens, so... No, actually, no. I want to fight you, you know? Give me my shell back, dude. Hey. Hey, hold on a second. Go to New Carcinia if you want to buy this bad boy back from me. Alright, well. Looks like we have a little bit more that we need to do. So, our adaptations are attacks that you get from the bosses. So every time you kill a boss, you get a special attack. A major boss, I should say. These can be the bosses that are in the story, but there are also optional bosses that you can find as well, that are kind of along the beaten path. So this move is very useful, and honestly, I feel like I'm going to be using it through most of this playthrough. It allows you to sweep a number of enemies at once, and it also allows you to deal a bunch of stun damage to them. Let's see. I have enough to get one of these upgrades, so let's go back. They will always indicate to you when you have enough to be able to get an upgrade of some sort. Also on the map, they'll always show a boss that you fought in the area that has a little extra health thing there. Or just kind of they're gone there, basically. Alright, so I know that I said... Let's see. Yeah, I know that I said I wanted this shell spell for free. But now that I'm thinking about it, it might be helpful to focus on keeping my shell healthy. Because I'm not as good at these parries as I remember myself being. But it also might be good to... This tree feels like the one I should be focusing on, honestly. But I really do want to do spearfishing, so... This can be very useful. It auto-stuns people whenever you use this. Most characters. But the big thing connected to it is that you also need to worry about if you're fighting larger enemies, you have to kind of fight with them to be able to get it. Otherwise, you might be the one who ends up getting hooked instead. So that'll be useful for some quick kills and for some damage that, you know, would be helpful for me going forward. But defensive upgrades are definitely in the cards after this, trust me. Alright, so we can't make our way forward here. Time for a little bit of backtracking. And yeah, she really got after these guys. Unfortunately, all the heart kelps here have died as well, so we can't make use of those. But we can make our way up and around. Now that we've done what we're doing here. Let's see. Oh, duh. That's a lot. I wonder how much it is. Takes me up to 20 instantly. I might be ready for another upgrade, actually. So, you might see me in that shell very soon. But as you can see, this is the doors that I was around before. Yeah, obviously dropping in on her would have been a little too easy. But the important thing is that we can now progress even further. Over to this direction, whatever it holds. Oh, hey. This is a nice road. I sure hope nothing bad happened to it. Hey. How's it going, pal? Firth. And as you can see, the road is, not good. I'm getting my carapace cracked by cruel, unfeeling forces beyond my control yet again is what's going on. I just spent my rare savings on rare trash. I just spent my whole savings on rare trash you can only get in the shallows. So I could sell it at a profit. And to use that profit to trade up my shell. Give myself something nice, you know? So yeah, it's, he's fully shocked. Like, literally, he's just like, ah, you know, whatever. But anyway, hey, how's it going? So we can sit down for a little bit here, just relax. There are a few of these spots that are in the game. I'll try and keep an eye out for them. There's not a bunch that you can do with them. I think maybe there's like a achievement that you get from sitting in one for the first time. But other than that, it's just, you know, there it is, right? So, time to make our way through. A stainless relic. Maybe we can turn it into something useful. I'll save that for when it actually becomes relevant, but now it's time to make our way to the reef. I'll leave that for now. A sauce nozzle. Which allows you to do a quick spin attack. Oh, whoops. That didn't work the exact way I wanted to. But it worked. Oh. So your adaptations also take up umami slots. So that's another reason to kind of want to focus on making sure that that stuff is kind of as present as possible. And also your MSG damage is capable there too, so that you make the most of it. But as you can see, you collect a lot of these barbed hooks pretty early on in the game, even if you're not, even if you don't choose to get that upgrade. just for the purpose of being able to deal free damage, I think this is one of the better options for me at the moment. Oops. Not a good idea. This is not the optimal way to play this game, but when I'm pushed to the corner, I have no choice, you know? Anyway, time for a nice little bit of adventuring. Like I said before, I really like the fact that this game has some platforming and extra stuff like that. Obviously, like, Soulslikes do have a little bit of stuff here and there moving around. Oh! Oh, I got tricked. I thought he killed me with that move. Yeah, glad I decided to stop off here. So yeah, as you might expect, oh, hold up. No, I couldn't. Being careful in these spots that you don't, you know, die and lose all of your microplastics is an art. Or die more than you need to, I guess. These guys can be very fun to play around with, honestly. You can't really parry their attacks, but the good news is that most of their stuff is interruptible. Oh. Well, at least it did a lot of stun damage to him. Oh, wow. Crazy noise. Though those don't come back when you die, so oh, the double. Mind you, that was kind of a waste, because I'll need to fight this guy again, but... No big deal. Got a thimble, which gives you Fortify. Which increases the amount of shielding that you have, of course, for a limited time. Oh, he killed himself. Cool. So this is the path forward, but there are other directions that I can take as well that will give me some collectibles. And thankfully, you pretty much have everything that you need in this game when you once you get the ability to kind of hook onto stuff. Like, there's not too many other real, like, traversal skills that need to be found or unlocked in order to make your way around. The only big thing is how much damage you're willing to deal or take as you fight these guys. Oh, well. Another sea star. Now, the good news about collecting multiples of stowaways is you can sell them. But, of course, you do have to kind of deal with the fact that they are there. Alright. A little tricky to get across these sandals here. With this, whoa! Jerk. Skewered me some. Well, one good turn is worth another, you know what? Now, die properly. I could have sworn he had some stuff on him, but... Oh, yeah, he did. Just took a while. Okay, nice little shortcut in case I have to come through again. And this area is a little treacherous, so I might. Luckily, I have quite a bit. I'm dealing quite a bit of damage this early on. This is kind of the stuff you want to be able to do this early on. Both the damage and also the tricks, but the tricks can be harder, you know? Like, you won't... Unless you're someone who's decently skilled with soulslikes to begin with, you might... This might not come as naturally. Nice little purple block there. Interesting. But no time for that. We can bounce our way back up here. These purple blocks are important for something. I will say that. It doesn't look as readily evident at this moment, but you will use them for something in the future. Oh, I haven't even been doing my running attack at all. I will say it's a good thing that you do drop, enemies also drop the heart kelps as well. You know, it's a system that's similar, of course, to your kind of more recognizable healing mechanisms that you'd find in Soulslikes, but it is a little bit more generous than a lot of those games often are. And when you get them and where. That being said, you do still have to be careful. Like, you're not going to be able to run off an endless supply of them. Okay. Oh, no. Oh. Goodbye? Cool. Sometimes enemies will kind of do that occasionally. Like, the AI in this game can be a little spotty at points. But I don't mind it too much if it means that I get a benefit. Hey, how's it going? No, I hate it! I hate going fast! So, this is basically just what we talked about a little bit before. If you are moving pretty quickly, when you're in a cylindrical shell, then you can roll. This crazy movement will peel your gills back. It'll dry out your exoskeleton while you're still underwater. It'll boil you in your damn shell if you're not careful. Worst of all, it'll turn you into a permanent speed demon who can't even form words if they're not moving at high velocity. Are you ready to accept that kind of risk? Look, I said I wasn't, but yeah. So yeah, once you get that little blast on you, you can then make your way through. Nice enough. Alright, another shell for me. And I think I'm right close to town, actually. But yeah. You don't even need to be doing like a ton of speed in order to do it. You can just do it. And a lot of these ball-shaped ones are also like the coconut, for an example, give you rollout as well. So if you can't quite get the timing, you could just hit X and then just do it, you know? You of course need to keep holding down the button in order to make sure that you keep rolling, which is something that I didn't do. But, oh hey, there we go. So yeah, I mean, there are a lot of similarities, of course, to the Souls-like genre. But you can tell that this game is definitely trying to strike out on its own. Which I think, like, I don't know, it's both a help and a hindrance to it to some degree. Like, it's a help in the sense where I feel like there's a lot of people who might not have tried out Souls-likes before, or might not have had the interest in Souls-likes before, that would go out of their way to play this, like me. And then there's some people who might be thinking to themselves, oh, I would prefer this just be like Liza P or something, you know? Like, or another Souls-like that is kind of like come out from another studio that more closely emulates, you know, either the Souls franchise or, you know, Bloodborne specifically. But as you can see here, more of this really nice world building, these ropes. And this CVS pharmacy. Well, C&D pharmacy, I should say. Anyway, we're in town. Trash day? Excited to know what trash day is. I'm so glad I stuck around to learn all that lore. Thanks, Uncle Andy. Or thanks, Uncle Addy. But yeah, you can get an even better sense for how this stuff is made, like these sponges. And also what I really like is that a lot of this is, if it's not super normal kind of household items, the references are clear enough that you can kind of get what they're getting at with it. But yeah, this is a pretty nice little town here. Welcome to New Carcinia, a beacon of civilization among the harsh violence of the sands between, a testament to the prevailing power of industry, the city of dreams, the big crab apple, and the defining pillar of the trash economy which supports all crustacean society. How did I get in this conversation? My name, you ask? Tortellini, the town greeter, at your service. Oh, 2, actually. What sort of town greeter would I be if I looked behind me to keep tabs on those who have already greeted, rather than looking forward to greet those who had come? So Shellfish Desires, the luxury goods store, the museum, Bottom Feeders, and the back alley blacksmith. So as you might be able to tell, all of these locations are stores that are of use to us. So that's our way of being able to kind of check out the city in its fullness. But as you can see as well, this city is pretty big. It has this upside here, which is mostly flat. Has some things that you can talk to and some things that you can interact with. And then this lower area, which has even more stores and additional alleys and collectibles to find. So, oh hey, it's our friend Firth. Don't erode it, huh? Paul's his butts in one shell. I get butts into shells, specifically my butt. Oh, well, that's really nice, dude. Alright, man. Nah, it's fine. I don't think Krill likes industry. But, we'll see later. Who knows? Anyway, we can make our way over here to Shellfish Desires first. As you can see, Shellfish Desires has a pretty good collection of things here, specifically this keyboard, which, if you're careful enough, has the letter F connected to it. Why F, you ask? Well, because this game was made in the 2020s, that's why. It is. So luxury shells we can take a look at here. So this is where you can buy new shells to unlock. And these shells are things that are not really immediately found underground, but you can pretty immediately kind of make them useful to you. It also is where you can buy costumes. So if you want to have these things long before you have the opportunity to find them yourself, you can buy them here. And generally these are things that are kind of interesting in their own way. And then finally you also have your costumes, which vary. Rainbow Crabitalism, which is of course your pride flag, a black poncho, a white poncho, a Mr. Krabs outfit, a Cult of the Lamb outfit, another Cult of the Lamb outfit, and then a maid outfit. There's also shell insurance, which you can pay microplastics to have the ability to insure a shell. So any shell that you found or purchased will give you the opportunity to insure it. And of course, any of these shells that you buy here, you'll be able to insure them instantly. So if you're feeling like, oh, here's a shell that might be more useful to me from here, then you can pretty much just get it instantly there. But it is kind of important to insure your shells, because then you can go to the moon shell and then go ahead and choose it. And once you've insured these shells, you then spawn with them whenever you die. That includes, if you die with the shell on you, it'll also drop below as its own shell. So if you're feeling like a certain shell is going to be more useful to you as you go, it might be worthwhile to start insuring them. For now, though, I'm going to keep my microplastics to myself, because there's more stuff to be able to get. But Not that much to be able to buy from here, even though the biggest thing is their prices are very massive for its, you know, the normal kind of scenario. That was weird. Well, let's make our way over to the, museum here. Hey! You stand before the new Carcinia Museum of Carcinized History, I say. Oh. So the lower crust is where it is suggested. This museum, I don't believe it actually is ever used in plot. Spoilers. This is just a way for us to meet our friend here who is in charge of it. But it isn't an actual location or a resource the way a lot of this other stuff is. For now, though, let's get ourselves this moon shell. Or it is a moon shell, whatever. And actually, let's get ourselves a little upgrade real quick. Let's see how much we have. 31. Yeah, I think that'll do it. Let's get another upgrade here. And of course have a chat with our friend the moon snail here as well. Okay. So, I think the repose is going to be good, especially for dealing a little additional damage. I know I said I called my shot earlier, but I haven't found the any of the umami abilities that I like using yet, so I feel like I can kind of wait on it. But anyway, this is being able to deal a little bit of additional damage after you've parried somebody. Parry them, and then hit them again right after. And you can pretty much, for any smaller enemies, you can kill them off of that generally, or stun them off of that generally, I should say. And for any larger enemies, it's like the right stuff that you need to be able to kind of tunnel through them as needed. So, let's make our way down. Bottom feeders. Hey there, youngin'. Pleased as plastic to meet you. Hey, Nema, how's it going? So, they offer a stowaway hiring service here. Which is basically, you can just buy stowaways from them now. And in addition to that, you can also buy additional stowaway slots. So, this is your way of being able to get some stuff that may be useful to you as you go. But it is also your way of selling some stuff that might not be as useful to you. So these are not going to be too much, but this is what I want to focus on a little bit more here. Getting myself one or two of those. So yeah, I'll probably be focusing most of my money on that as I go. But there's plenty of other things that you can buy here and there. The shells, the shell insurance. Overall, just kind of keeping your stuff together. Ahoy there, scrap. It's a fine piece of metal in your claws there. Lots of promise. Care to make it shine with me, Scrap? So, all the stainless relics that you collect allow you to upgrade your fork. The forks upgrade in capacity. Forks upgrade in capacity and give you additional damage. In that case, it gives you 5 additional attack compared to what you start off with. But also, the amount of stainless steel that you need to give them increases too. And there's a certain amount of stainless steel in the world, like it's a finite resource. So if you want to be able to upgrade it to its full capacity, then you will have to do a lot of searching around. But yeah. So now our fork is no longer rusty, which means it deals more damage, I guess. But we can then kind of take that and turn it into something that'll be useful for us as we go. So we've gone to all of the major things that are going to be useful to us for right now. Oh, super sad, too. Prawn-a-thon. And hey, he has the shell. Alright, play it cool. I have no idea what you're talking about. Anything, huh? Well, I could probably come up with some arduous and meaningless time sinks for you to partake in and earn your shell back. Why don't you scrape the barnacles off my sweaty... Wait, did you hear that? Oh. Well, he was about to, harass me sexually, it seems, but... Thankfully, it's trash day.
Everyone get your baskets! Don't miss out!
So I gotta say, like, it's kind of crazy that, it's kind of crazy that this game is like, yeah, the natural resource is microplastics. Assorted crab noises. When they just fall from the sky every little bit, but such is the economy. Oh! Glorified crunch!
I've never seen anything like it.
It's a message from the captain! It's got his face right on it! It's gotta be! Excuse me? Excuse me, please.
Hey, Concha.
Me. Excuse me, young lady. As New Cassinia's official historian, I'm sure I can shed some light on... My God! If I'm not mistaken, this is part of a map! A map showing the way to a most valuable treasure, I say. If someone were to find its missing pieces and decipher them, why, they'd be rich beyond their wildest dreams, I say.
Rich? I like the sound of that. That treasure's as good as mine. I'll be able to afford the flashy shell in the ocean, you know?
Not if I get there first. Think of all the tourists that treasure can bring to our city.
Well, don't you count out us bottom-siders. You'll be eating your hat when I get that treasure and fix up my restaurant.
It would appear the hunt is on, I say. The first stop on the map seems to be the forest to the north of here. May the best, Crab.
Oh. Or...
Apologies for the interruption, folks. I seem to have misheard something. I could have almost sworn there were some citizens here planning on unearthing some valuables. Need I remind you all how threatening the ocean is outside this
I love
reef?
the little squid
I
man.
hope it would go without saying.
Squid with a gun.
The beauty of such a dangerous excavation would fall to the shell.
And the keys around his neck too. Super sick. That's a very good design for a character.
Don't you agree?
As well as
Yeah.
Roland here.
I hear you, Roland. No problem.
Then, as Shellfish Corp's CEO and this fair city's de facto mayor, I suppose no one would have any objections to my taking sole control of this treasure hunt. Are we all in agreement?
Oh dear. I suppose that sounds all right with me, I say.
You hear what they're
Having
talking
a little
about over there?
toothpick.
Sounds like some kind of crazy treasure hunt.
Hey kid, I just got an idea. If you can go get that treasure they're jawing about, I'll gladly trade your shell for it.
For real? You'd really do that?
You bet. A prawn never goes back on his promise.
Oh,
Really?
yeah! I'm gonna find that treasure!
You were not listening, were you?
Go, kid. Roller can't tell us what to do. That treasure belongs to whoever can find it first.
The corporations don't control us!
I suppose a little friendly competition is only
I
fair.
love how it's like
I hope
he
you
had
know what you
no
just dove
real
into,
investment in
kid.
this
See
kind
you
of
in the
overall
open
drama.
ocean,
And he was
treasure
just like,
hunters.
yeah. Society if Krill keeps his thoughts to himself. Dang, that was crazy with a capital Z. You really stepped in it now, kid. Yeah, you didn't have to scream it out loud, Krill. Got to go to the Grove next. So, he will buy all of the junk that we've been finding. And that is how we translate all of that into microplastics. Alright, so first a little chat with all of our folks here. Get a sense for what we're gonna be doing. That bully. The first stop is the Grove. Head into the city and head north and you'll reach it eventually. You're idle. We're in the same market, that makes us rivals. I don't know, man. You don't seem like you're on his level at all, personally. CEO of Shellfish Corp here. And he's pretty much in charge of the trash economy, basically, is kind of what she's detailing. So we gotta punish him a little bit. Fish billionaire. Latuna? People who follow me around.